Hey and welcome to the Ultimate Coaster 2 Duo Contest result video. We had 6 different teams, but only 5 of them submitted because Drew and Pyro didn't make it in time. So we got 5 coasters to rank today, and we will directly start with the 5th coaster. So the 5th coaster is the RMC by HX and TZZ and Silky. I'll just call it Tornado because this is the theme of it. And the coaster itself was okay. It has nice speed and also very good forces. They are not too high or too low, but I had the feeling of missing something in this coaster. There was like an element, key element that that this coaster missed, and I can't really say what it was, but the coaster felt incomplete due to this. Um, the scenery was basically some fog with the tornado and the clouds. There was not much interaction with the scenery and everything felt a little separated. I also missed the fact that it was created as it could stand in a theme park because there was no sign for it like a queue or anything. It could also stand in the woodlands. Also, the theme actually says this, and yeah, it's not very made as a theme park attraction. I gave Tornado 6 right points out of 10 for scenery points and 2 for the theme park feeling, and that with the multipliers that leads us to 36 total points. So the 4th coaster is Blue Shift. This ride was planned to be themed for the actual Blue Shift in physics. Okay, so to explain Blue Shift, we got an object and for example the sun, and we got you, and the sun moves with a specific speed in a specific direction, and you move with a specific speed, in this case lower than the speed of the sun in the same direction, and then you got your speed and the speed of the sun to create a distance between you and the sun, so the wavelengths get longer. In that case, I'll explain why later. And longer waves in the visible light spectrum mean you get in the red section. That's why it's called redshift. And blue shift is the same in the opposite direction. So you again got the sun and you got yourself, but you move faster than the sun, so you come closer together, and that creates that makes the wavelengths shorter than usual, and that's why we get shorter waves and they are blue, and that's why it's called blue shift. To show you the distances between the waves, I've made a little simulation, and here you see that if you have no relative speed between you and the sun, you simply get the signal every second as it is ejected every second in here. And yeah, that's just the normal speed, so you get the signal as it is ejected. But if the wave now gets ejected while you are moving away from each other, you simply get different signals because the signals are sent earlier than you get it. and yeah, there is more distance to travel for the wavelengths to get to you, and that's why you get longer wavelengths. And if we do this now in the opposite direction, that doesn't really work in the simulation, but you will see it. You get shorter wavelengths because you move toward the wavelength, so the actual time you need to travel to the light needs to travel to you is light speed minus your speed, because you also travel to the sun. Yeah. I'd expect a nice themed dark ride experience which shows how the blue shift works and how it is used in science. But sadly, this ride doesn't really fulfill my expectations here. The ride is okay, but the G-forces are way too high, and I haven't had the feeling of anything that was missing in this ride, and it's pretty decent, but I decided to give it only 7 ride points because it's nothing special or anything, and the ride G-forces are just a bit too high to give it more points. Again, I missed a cue here, but it seemed like a bit more theming or a bit more integration between the scenery and the ride that leads us to 7 ride points, 4 scenery points, and 4 for the theme park feeling. And that's a total of 55 points with the multipliers, but I decided to subtract 5 points because it was submitted late, so we got 50 points here. I was thinking about subtracting more points, but I can't rank it behind Tornado. Yeah. Okay, 3 left. While there are 2 other ride types, we got 3 or 5 from our submissions to be RMC hybrids. And as the next coaster, we also have one. It is the Future by Sherman and Dark Creator. And yeah, it features nice turns and a bunch of different dwelling effects. While the G-forces are a little on the limit, the ride itself deserves its 7 points. The scenery is huge, but it doesn't really integrate into the coaster. The only thing you see is the dwelling effect and those beams on the side, which are definitely too much. Guys, do you really think there's any theme park out there which could afford all these steel supports? Like, you could make 3 coasters out of this, and this is just too much supports. And if they should be wooden, please don't color them like this. Your ride still got 7 ride points, 7 scenery points, and 4 for the theme park feeling. There was a queue, but yeah, it was still much to do there. And this leads us to a total of 64 points. Okay, we come closer to the winner of this competition, and as the next coaster we got Red Aurora, I don't know how to say this, but this is an insane coaster which features literally anything. It provides twists, a stall, and if I'm right, there's also a wave turn. This element always reminds me of Mako. Okay, you got 70 seconds pure action and adrenaline. It also has a nice theming with a pyramid, a cute station, and a massive jungle. This ride has a queue line which is sadly not finished due to the lacks of Asterix device, but it's still pretty decent. And the theme is just massive there, which also brings us to the points of 10 ride points. You literally can't do a better coaster. This is absolutely awesome. 7 scenery points and 6 points for the theme park feeling. That's also something you can't really do better there. This all leads us to our winner, Nuclear. There is no real water ride in this game, but Chaos and Cosmic Vortex created one with the classic looping coaster, which is already an awesome fact. The ride itself has good forces as I'd expected on such a coaster. Also, the ride seemed very realistic and had some nice turns, plus a very well done last drop in my opinion. There's not much to say about the ride as those rides don't get anything really special, but the idea and result look really cool. But this is not only even the best about this ride, we got a complete themed section of a theme park as I imagined the results to be. There is the restaurant Toxin Bite, which blew my mind because I didn't even think of a restaurant section, and the drop tower named Toxic, which got even its own queue. The ride got a cute queue with stairs, and they managed to make a great integration of the ride into the scenery. There is only one micro, the only action which is a bit unrealistic. The tunnel doesn't really fit there in my opinion, and if a water boat dives into the water, it automatically loses its momentum. You can't just pull it out again and make the next turns with it. But all in all, it's still a great ride and really deserves its win with 8 ride points. You can't really do it better with this type of coaster. There are some things you could do better, but yeah, that's why it got 8 points. It got 10 scenery points because this scenery is awesome. And I gave it 9 theme park feeling points. I just didn't know where to get this in, but yeah, this one section in there, the integration between the ride and the scenery. But in total, this leaves us with 88 points, which is definitely a good um, result, and you can't really do this better. There are just some tiny things you could improve. Congrats to our winner, and if you need any recordings in 30 fps and 1K high definition for any file size, just message me. Bye.